Pasuk Yud. Chapter 20. Okay. Mordechai, you want to have to start off?
Moshe v'Aaron es HaKodesh.
Okay, actually, Pasuk Tes, actually. That's before that, okay? Vayikach Moshe Samate.
וייקח משה סמך מלפני השם כאשר ציווהו.
Moshe took the matter, right? Milifnei Hashem, from before Hashem, Kasher Tzibor, as he had commanded. Okay? Now it's interesting. How many matters did Moshe have?
Well, he said Aaron on one, but they say that they got confused. Didn't they take Aaron's?
Let me see about this. Okay? Okay, so it says over here, this, he told him, like, whose matter was that?
Well, it still is Moshe, he didn't say.
Aaron's?
He must have got mixed up, he didn't actually say whose it was.
Right, so go back to the previous passage. It says, Kaches hamate v'akeres oida'ato v'anochi. Take the staff. What staff are we referring to?
See, where are we? Let's just say.
Which number are you?
We are in
Right? Hang on, we move up.
okay?
What are you looking at? Which number?
We are chapter 20,
Yeah.
Pasuk 8. What did it say? Kaches hamate. Take the staff.
It's stiff.
It doesn't say Kaches matchom, your staff. Kaches hamate. Because that's what this pasuk says. Vayikach Moshe hamate milifnei Hashem. What was that? Whose matter was before Hashem? Moshe's matter or Aaron's matter? What did we find in last week's parasha? It says in the
Wait a second. Last week's parsha, Aaron's matter was supposed to be the one that flowers.
right, it did.
Right, and it did. So
Okay.
then that had to be the.
And what was to be
most
done?
important one.
What was to be done afterwards?
Which put it in reserve, put it in the ark or something.
That was with the matter. Oh, was it put in the ark?
Yeah, put it in the ark, yeah. For all time, for all time.
Shishi. Vayikach Hashem Moshe. Hoshev is mate Aaron ifnei ha'edus nishnas lo'osid bnei Meri. Uschal tlu noisom le'olai v'lo yamusu. Vayas Moshe kasher tzivah Hashem.
Okay.
So came also. That he put the matter.
Reminder for all time.
Right. That was one of the things which was placed in the Holy of Holies.
The almonds and the almond food.
Well, it's sprouted and it has it's flowered, almonds or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll be with
So you see the Chaya, so that's the implication over here, that he took the matter which was before Hashem, which was Aaron's matter. Kasher tzivohu. Because he didn't say it says, Kach es hamate. The staff. Whose staff was that?
Yeah, it must have been Moshe's.
Doesn't say this. Implication in no, on the contrary.
Not Moshe's, it must have been Aaron, sorry.
Right? Rashi doesn't comment on this.
You know,
Okay.
Aaron did a miracle, and at the time of the plague, did Moshe say, here, use my stick, or were only one stick really available?
It wasn't the stick that stopped the plague.
Whatever Moshe did, Aaron did one or two miracles. Did
I understand, it wasn't with the stick.
No.
He ran with the
water.
Torahs.
Yeah, the water.
Not the water either, with the
No,
incense.
I'm saying the miracles he did at the was at the
Okay, Pasuk Yud. Okay, Mordechai, please carry on.
יעקילו משה ואהרון את הכהן אל פני הצבא, יום מברכם, שמעון המורים, המון הסלע.
המין הסלע הזה.
notzi lachem moyim.
Okay? Let's translate. Vayakilu Moshe and Aaron. Moshe and Aaron congregated the congregation of Bnei Asora before the rock. Vayom Elohem, and he said to them, Moshe said to them, Shimu no hamoyrim. Listen now. And Rashi is going to say what this word no hamoyrim means.
Rebels.
Rebels, that's what it means.
Sorry, I didn't discussion.
Rashi doesn't see it.
In trouble.
What Rashi says? Rashi says, I don't know if I should discuss it. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. The first discuss. Yes, Rashi says later. And then Rashi says, Hamorim Sarvoni. Means the rebellious ones. Okay? Shimon Hamorim. Hamin Asera Hazeh Neitzi Lachem Moim. Right? Is it from this rock that we will produce for you water? Okay? Now it's interesting that that the Orach Chaim HaKodesh quotes 10 different explanations. What was the sin of Moshe and Aaron, or Moshe anyway, that he got punished, that it was after Hashem told him, because of what you did here in this incident, you're not going to go into Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
So one of them is, he said, Noitzi Locheman, we.
Oh yeah, we're going to bring
It was Moshe and Aaron in their
Joint.
That Aaron was.
No, first of all,
That's
not
why
so
the
much
second
that, no, but that they, Moshe and Aaron were doing it. It was all from Hashem. It was Hashem who was doing it.
Right,
They
but,
should
but,
have said,
but that Aaron couldn't have done it.
Yoitzi. What?
That you're saying the reason why Aaron
Oh,
was disallowed.
no, that's a separate issue. That's a separate issue. I'm saying what would Moshe
Uh-huh.
do wrong? Okay?
We bring forth.
So one of them is this. The other one is that he said he
You speak to him and he didn't
chided the Jewish people. He gave the, should we say,
chided the
labeled the Jewish people moirim,
Yeah.
rebellious ones.
That got punished, no?
Okay, so that's the different explanations why 10 in the Orach Chaim enumerates 10 different explanations
And he
why
should have-
Moshe Rabbeinu was punished.
And his Hitler should have spoken to it.
So another one, whatever, we'll see. Rashi says that he should have spoken to it. Okay? Now,
What was the first one you just said?
he said, Noitzi, we shall produce.
And then Moshe together. It's Moshe doing the miracle.
No, it's Hashem.
I mean, Hashem is doing the miracle, not Moshe.
Right. It's really Hashem. They gave a opening for the people to think that maybe it was Moshe himself doing it. Okay, Moshe and Aaron together. Okay, let's see the Rashi here. Mordechai, you're up for the Rashi. Okay?
ויקעדו ולא זה אחד מן המקומות
Shehechzik muat es hamaruba. Because he told him everybody was to appear, right, to congregate in front of the rock. How big is the rock? How big is the rock?
Big rock. It was a whole thing, wasn't it? Well, a whole thing, yeah.
I know, but
But there's a peak, you had to knock a
It's in
particular,
this week.
you had to hit this particular part
how
of the
many people
rock.
can stand in front of the rock?
Pardon?
Maybe 10.
10. And Moshe Rabbeinu congregated everybody in front of the rock.
Unbearable.
So that's what it says. This is one of the places where Shehechzik muat es hamaruba. Like a small area held a lot of people. Okay?
המעין הסלע הזה נוציא לפי שלא היו מכירים
Oh, so, because the Moshe and Aaron didn't know which rock, they didn't recognize which rock they were supposed to speak to. Okay? Vishahalach hasela, right? Because the rock went, the Yoshav lo ben asloi, and it sat, which means it positioned itself among the other rocks. Kinishnistalek habe'er. Okay, when the power of the well, right, and the rock which would produce water, which was the well, okay, so when the well, it no longer had the koach to produce water because Miriam had died and didn't have a schus anymore, so then it was like it returned to being a regular old rock, okay, so it couldn't differentiate this rock from any other rock.
Right. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, clearly he's looking around for the right rock.
Is it because he also is flustered?
Well, one second.
Because he's cold.
So Yisrael were saying to the to Moshe and Aaron,
So it's
Ma lochem,
what is it to you? Which rock?
right? What are you doing? What is the thing? Means how can you do such a thing?
Could bring to us.
Well, which rock are we going to produce for us water? Kach Omar lahem. Therefore Moshe said to them, Hamoirim. Shimon Hamoirim means Sarvonim. Loshin Yevonim. Shoitim Moirim es Moireim. Sarvonim means the ones who are not quite refuseniks, is the right word. Sarva means they refuse to accept authority. Okay?
Rebellious?
It's rebellious, that's what it means. Yes.
Okay.
Loshin Yevoni. Now, Loshin Yevoni, I guess Sarvoni means is a Greek expression for shotim, fools. Moirim es moirem. So here Rashi learns slightly different, meaning they teach their teachers. Hamin asel hazeh shelo mitztav or alav notzi lachem moim mitztavinu. Is it going to be that we're going to produce water from the rock which we weren't commanded about? So the Chayr, what Rashi seems to be saying as follows: the people were trying to push Moshe into producing water, trying to produce water from a rock which he hadn't been commanded about. So that's what Moshe is talking about. How can it be? How can we do such a thing? One second. I'm not quite sure, just let me think of this for a moment.
And also to bring out the water from another rock, a piece of rock. It had to be from that particular rock, or did it have to be from a rock like that, or could have been a particular place in the rock?
No, it seems from Rashi, the way Rashi's understanding, the people's time was, their time was, what's the problem? Anywhere, you can take any rock and produce water. Just hit the rock or speak to the rock and then any water will come out. That's what we said. Rashi said, what's your problem? Whichever rock there is, you can produce for us water. That's what he's saying. You're fools. Right? You're trying to teach us how to produce water from the rock. Right? It's only one specific rock which we've been commanded to produce. Therefore, we can't just take any rock. It's only one particular rock.
Well, he didn't have to use the pejorative fools.
Oh, so that's what he was trying to point out to them, because they were under the misconception.
Misconception,
I mean, were they able to distinguish which rock, anyway, would have, like, they knew from the past that Miriam had that rock in there.
So obviously, that's what Rashi says over here, that the rock sort of got mixed up with all the other rocks, and they didn't know how to differentiate. They couldn't recognize it. So what did they do to Maisa? Okay.
Keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
Okay, let's see the next pasuk. We'll see maybe a little bit clearer over here. So there. Take a break and then read the pasuk, please. Okay,
Hi, which one?
Yud Aleph.
What's the Aleph?
Vayorim
Moshe is Yadar. Moshe lifted up his hand.
Esasela, and he hit
the
the rock B'matehu with his staff
his staff.
Pa'amoyim
Hamayim.
twice.
Twice.
With the rod or his rod?
So here it says B'matehu with
So it's
his.
back his rod, he's got his rod back again then.
Right. So previously we pointed out that B'chora, Moshe was told to take the rod from before Hashem, which was Aaron's matter.
Maybe.
B'chora, it was Aaron's matter. Okay? And here it says he hit the rock twice with his own staff.
Not own, just his rod.
Yeah, but that's what it means. There was two staffs. There was one staff which was Aaron's staff, which had miraculously sprouted fruit. Okay? And there was the Moshe Rabbeinu's own staff, which was the staff which had been
Handed down.
What? Handed down, right. Yaakov had crossed over the Yarden with it.
So what was the rod they used when they put the almond blossoms came
It's a
out?
different rod. That was Aaron's.
Oh,
That wasn't the same one.
oh, sorry.
This was the rod which Moshe Rabbeinu had
Beg your
performed
pardon. Yes, quite.
the
Yes,
plagues.
yes, quite.
So which one was he supposed to use?
Well, his rod, so it's Moshe.
I guess if he didn't use his rod, he'd be knocking the flowers off the other rod. The other rod was supposed to be shown for ever that it was Aaron's
But
rod.
that's the point. Go back to Pasuk Tes, as we mentioned Pasuk Tes. Vayikach Moshe Samateu milifnei Hashem kasher
And Moshe
tzivo.
took the
Staff
rod.
that was before Hashem.
Before
Where was
Hashem.
Moshe's staff? Was before Hashem?
No.
No, it was Aaron's staff that was before Hashem.
So
Kasher tzivohu, as Hashem had commanded him. But where do you see that Hashem had commanded him? Because he told him with a definite article, Kach es hamate, take the staff. The staff. What's the staff?
Which was shown to have been a miracle.
Miraculous.
So it was a miraculous staff could do miraculous things.
Well, the thing is, both were miraculous. But obviously,
But this
Moshe
was miraculous.
correctly understood HaKodesh Baruch Hu to taking Aaron's staff.
Right.
And now, all of a sudden, he takes his own staff. Why is that? It's also one of the opinions that he was mistaken in that. He should have...
It emphasises the rod by saying et, doesn't it? So it may be the particular rod. Et is also...
No, it's not so much the hay itself.
No, I thought et always signifies something. Apparently from this great rabbi tells us...
Yes,
So,
Shimon Hamam Suni.
He did a big book on et, didn't he? So Rabbi Kiva.
Moshe take.
So what was et?
He darshan kol esim shebatorah.
That's right.
And he expounded every word es in the Torah till he got to the pasuk es Hashem Elokecha Tira.
Yeah, fear.
Right, you have to
He was
fear
referring to the Chachamim.
that Kiva upheld this the Pirish of Shimon Suni, and he told him that your explanations are correct. Why did it say es Hashem Elokecha Tira? You shall fear Hashem, and it says es means it must come to include somebody else besides Hashem. That means referring to Talmid Chacham.
So et is important. Not just it could be just Vayikam Moshe Hamate. It says et Hamake, so it must mean something really special.
Yeah, I know that, but the point what I'm pointing out is in this it says Vayon Moshe Siyod V'achas Hasela B'matehu
Right.
with his
Yeah.
stuff.
So he never even picked up Aaron's.
You know, he did, but it seems that what this sequence of events here is not exactly clear. The Kopan at this point, when he hit the rock, it was not with Aaron's staff, but it was with Moshe's own staff. That's what it sounds like.
During the miracles, the one that does
So we think
And another
he
point
might have
is...
picked it up and then he had to put it down. Otherwise,
Okay, so...
why?
I don't know. We have to...
But that could have been his chief sin.
Could be. I think one opinion says that.
Yeah, the
wrong
what?
staff.
The what?
That he picked up one staff, they picked
Yeah,
up the
just
miracle
like-
He
staff,
took
Yeah.
the
and
wrong
he put
staff.
it down.
That's one opinion, is he took the wrong stuff. Another opinion is...
That he never picked up that
Rashi
staff.
says-
In his anger,
Okay,
he picked up the wrong stick. That's why I heard. So that was one of the...
That is
like
one
you
of the
said.
explanations.
Yeah. So you're right.
Okay?
What anger?
Never get angry.
Never get
And
angry.
one second,
Good
another
evening.
opinion is he had it twice. Well, Rashi's going to dwell on that. Okay, so I'm there.
That's two things.
Rashi.
1 second, we haven't finished the part. Vayetzu mayim rabim, a lot of water came out.
Yetzu mayim rabim, a lot of water came out.
Ateshta edo,
Uve'iram.
okay,
And the congregation drank with the waters.
Ateshta edo,
Drank.
the congregation drank, uviram, and the livestock.
And the livestock.
I've not seen that word. Was there another word for cattle?
Yeah, that's one we used
Mikne.
yesterday. We just
Mikne.
Which one?
Is that flock more for sheep? No, mikne for
Mikne is more
cattle.
for cattle.
So why these
Uviram is a general term for all kinds. Mikne
Oh.
generally refers to
goats, sheep, cows,
sheep, sheep and cows.
moose?
Okay? And Be'ira means refers to all their animals,
Ah, right.
all their livestock. Okay?
Livestock, let's say.
Okay, Rashi.
Yeah.
Which one?
Sure.
One at the beginning, Yud Aleph. Pamayim.
Pamayim, many times.
No, twice.
Twice.
K'fi sheb'shona,
Lo chaytzi ele tippin.
right? The first time he hit the rock, only drops came out. Why? K'fi shelo tzivo hamokem la'koser. The HaKodesh Baruch Hu, right, the omnipresent, had not commanded him to hit the rock. Elo v'dibartem el hasela, you shall speak to the rock. V'heima dibru al sela acher, they had spoken to a different rock. V'lo hoitzi, and he didn't produce water. Omro shematzach la'koser k'vrishona, maybe we have to hit it like the first time, which was, that was 40 years earlier, when they came out of Egypt, right, and they came to this was after the splitting of the Red Sea, and they came to the desert, and there the people complained for water, which is the first time that people, no, actually not the first time, the second time, people complained for the in the desert, and HaKodesh Baruch Hu then told Moshe quite clearly, hit the rock, and hit it he did, and the water came out, everything was fine. But here, HaKodesh Baruch Hu had not told him hit the rock. It says you shall speak to the rock. Okay? And here he, should we say, he erred in that respect, and he hit the rock as well, as like that. Okay? Now, so this time, however, when he hit the rock, so the problem was, he had spoken to a different rock, and he didn't come produce water. And maybe instead of speaking to the rock, we've actually got to go and hit it as well. It says that you shall hit the rock. Then, it was way back in Parshas Beshalach. Okay, and this time when he hit it, when he's damelem oisa sela biko, then punkt, instead of originally they had spoken to the rock, the wrong rock, and he didn't produce any water. Now when he hit it, he hit the right rock, but he should have spoken to the right rock. And so he hit the right rock, and he hit it, and it produced water.
But he had it twice.
Right. Which again itself is what's going on here.
And he did twice, not once.
I think by this time he was really confused. That's why he got upset.
He was confused.
Possibly
Possibly,
confused.
the question is,
embarrassing too.
what should he have done?
He should have spoken to him.
You see the Torah over here, the Moshe, even though Moshe had a cheshbon, a calculation why he hit the rock, he was nevertheless mistaken.
Well, first of all, he should have taken the right matar. He should have taken Aaron.
I don't know, whatever.
Secondly,
Rashi doesn't mention this part.
secondly, he should have spoken to the
That's the key.
a rock, and maybe the water would
He
come out of any
did.
rock.
He did speak to a rock. He did, that's what Rashi mentioned.
Yeah, but he didn't have the right one.
He didn't have the right one. So what should he have done now? How's he going to find the right one?
No, he had to have the right stick. In order to take Aaron's stick, that's the first thing. God had to make the miracle happen
So
because
first,
most people look so bad.
I just pointed this out.
And listen to
But
this.
Rashi does not make an issue of that. He took the wrong stick. Rashi didn't make an issue of that.
Okay.
Rashi only makes an issue speaking or hitting.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
If he spoke to it, he would have somehow got to the right rock. But Shem punished him because he didn't show him what to. He gave him his orders, and he didn't obey his orders, and he got angry. So we learned that we don't get angry, and we do what Hashem told. We don't do what you want to do.
I understand.
You do what you're told to do. I mean, with Hashem.
What should Moshe Rabbeinu?
He wants to perform this miracle.
Yaakov, you're suggesting. We used to have a thing. I remember this. You, the jury. Right?
Yeah.
Right now, here you, Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay. If you had been in Moshe Rabbeinu's position, what would you have done? What should Moshe Rabbeinu have done?
Well, obviously he lost his cool, and he had to show the miracle. He wanted to show the commandment.
What? I have to answer my question. What should he have done?
He should have done exactly what Hashem. He should have done.
What was that?
Hashem. What do I do now?
He should have tried twice.
Oh, he did.
He should have spoke twice. He should have spoke a third time. Just try it again. It'll come.
Yeah, maybe that.
That's mashpeh from Rashi over here.
Yeah.
He should have spoken again to another rock.
Right. I thought by just speaking, if Hashem's not showing you the rock, and He told you to speak to it, and you're doing it, and you can't find it, what do you do?
That's the implication of it. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, again, you see another.
Difficult.
Should we say the source of almost every sin that was in the desert over here was a miscalculation or misjudgment on behalf of the thing. The person who carried out the sin was the sin resulted as a matter of misjudgment or miscalculation.
Or speaking the wrong words.
Moshe was really. Who said Moshe is supposed to think of the wrong words? You don't say that.
Well, he did. Well, I've read it. He does. It's a rebellious. You don't.
1 second. I'm dwelling on Rashi over here. When you've read that somewhere else, we can discuss that another time. I'm dwelling on Rashi over here. Rashi says that Moshe Rabbeinu's mistake was that after he spoke to one rock once, and he didn't get any response, so Moshe Rabbeinu miscalculated, and he says, "Okay, you know what that means. I'm not supposed to speak, I'm supposed to hit the rock." Which was a miscalculation, misjudgment on Moshe Rabbeinu's part.
Is it a bad judgment or a misjudgment? Or is there a difference?
It wasn't necessarily, I don't know, bad judgment. I mean,
he just made a mistake.
Yes, obviously.
Or it was a calculated mistake.
It was a calculated mistake, but Moshe Rabbeinu on his level should not have made such a mistake. That's why he was
command was speak to the rock, not.
Right. So therefore, that's why, in that respect,
It's supposed to show the glory of God.
It was held against him.
And
it was against Moshe.
He was doing something.
How can you?
Moshe Rabbeinu's calculation was
he was wrong. That's all.
There was a previous time when HaKodesh Baruch Hu had told me to produce water from the rock. And how did he tell me to do it then?
Imagine people complaining.
By hitting the rock. So maybe that's what HaKodesh Baruch Hu meant here as well.
But you didn't tell me.
It was very clear and very.
Complaining.
It's not so clear because Moshe Rabbeinu had tried speaking, only speaking without hitting, okay, and it hadn't worked.
So you're saying it's not just because Rashi is an extended Rashi, or is
What?
this the only Rashi? Here now, you rebels. He's already said something about Hashem is taking.
Rashi doesn't say.
Yeah, but then he might lose his cool and he's just
First of all,
crazy.
it doesn't say Moshe got angry. Other times it says that Moshe got angry. Here it doesn't say that.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that others learn Pshat like you're saying, Yaakov. You have to be very careful to delineate and differentiate between different explanations. Can't mix the two things.
Well, I thought you're allowed to bring in other.
Right, but I'm just saying, we're following Rashi's way of explanation over here, and this is what Rashi says. Rashi says quite clearly.
So you don't regard as important or he didn't regard as important, and that's one of the reasons why Moshe wasn't allowed to go into Eretz Yisrael, because of saying this. Here now, you rebels.
It's not because he said, "Here now, you rebels."
So
it
why
says because
yeah.
instead of speaking the Torah, it sounds like speaking again to the rock and trying a different rock and speaking to that rock, Moshe made a mistaken judgment, and he said, you know what? If I speak into the rock didn't work, that means I'm supposed to hit it. And that's where he went wrong.
So he wasn't allowed to go to Eretz Yisrael
As a result of that.
Oh, I thought it was because he
And
lost his
as we're
job.
going to see, and it doesn't necessarily was a punishment per se. It was a result of what he'd done. You're going to see in the next part in Yud possibly Yud base. Okay,
Right. Carry on.
Yaakov.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's in Yud base?
Vayom Adonai Moshe el Haron, and the Lord said to Moses and to Aaron, Ya'an lo
Hemantem bi.
because you believe not in me.
Did not believe me, right?
Believed in me, not in me. Sheni, to sanctify me, b'nei Israel, in the eyes of the children of Israel. Lachem lo tabi'u, therefore you shall not bring et hakahol hazeh, this assembly to
This
to land,
congregation,
to the land, asher natati lachem, which I have given them.
right.
So Ya'am lo hemantem bi, because you believe not in me. Gilah katu, Scripture reveals. Sherulei het ze bilbad, that but for this sin alone, hayu natisim la'aretz, they would
have
have
merited
entered
to
the
go
land.
into the land. They would have gone into the land.
Kadei shelo yomru alehem, in order that people should not say
About them,
ba'avon sha'ador
Ka'avon Sha'ador,
hamidah, that the sin of the
like
rest
the
of the
sin of
generation
the
of the
rest of
wilderness.
the generation of the wilderness, means those who died in the wilderness,
upon which the decree that they should not enter.
Shloi consularis, they shouldn't get into the land.
Kahayu avon Moshe Haron. So was the sin of Moshe and Aaron.
Okay, now, that's okay, period. That's the thing. So therefore, the Torah says quite clearly, the reason why Moshe and Aaron weren't allowed into Eretz Yisrael is because they had not sanctified Hashem in the proper way,
Right.
and therefore they would not merit to go into Eretz Yisrael, would not have been permitted to go into Eretz Yisrael.
And again, how
And
did,
l'chayra, the way
can we
Moshe,
just ask something? So Aaron, somebody mentioned that before.
Mentioned this
It
yesterday.
was Moshe who was conducting the whole procedure.
right,
So they couldn't have fights about don't hit it. Is it because Aaron did not interfere, say anything?
so Rashi, I mentioned this yesterday, Rashi's V'zeh Bracha says, what did Aaron do?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
That's what I'm talking about, that, isn't it?
So
It wasn't.
Rashi says over there, Kaviyochel was HaKodesh Baruch who found a pretext to not allow Aaron to go into Eretz Yisrael, and who had in Miriam as well.
All right.
Miriam,
Oh, we
sure.
didn't work that out. But definitely Aaron, if it was a pretext, he said.
Rashi says that in Parshas V'zeh Bracha. You have to understand this is something. How can HaKodesh Baruch Hu Oisa din b'li din means HaKodesh Baruch Hu carries out something, gives a person a punishment without proper justification. It's a
I mean, you get
it's a
the
very difficult concept to fathom.
You get the example with Miriam when she spoke Lashon Hara.
Right?
Now they don't mention about Aaron getting it, but Midrash says that he actually got it, prayed. Somehow he managed to pray and he got rid of it very quickly. I don't know what happened, but so he got off the hook in a way, or he got punished as well.
So there again, it was Miriam was the one who instigated the Lashon Hara.
Yeah, but he listened.
It's interesting. For that reason, that wasn't the reason why she wasn't allowed into Eretz Yisrael.
No,
But that alone, she got a punishment of being 7 days.
but as Aaron was part of the team, not the team, but he sort of was behind Moshe, should he have said, "Cool it, Moshe. Just maybe should have speak to it. Don't get excited."
I don't know. I'm just quoting you what Rashi says there. Anyway, now,
So if you're not happy with that answer, where do you find an answer? So why, there must be an answer. There's always got a comment somewhere if you look at the right
Okay.
sources.
there's a certain, this is definitely, maybe it is to a certain degree that Aaron could have,
Laid it down a bit.
or could have spoken to Moshe not to hit the rock.
Yeah.
Don't know, not sure. Don't know. Okay,
Right.
now, continues the Rashi.
But was not the offence contained in the word shall? Will the flocks and herds be
We had
slain?
in Parshas Baloiska that Moshe Rabbeinu said to HaKodesh Baruch Hu.
Great.
HaKodesh Baruch Hu said, don't worry, I'm going to bring enough meat
Right.
to provide the entire people. So Moshe Rabbeinu said back to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, how could it be possible, eh? Right?
Yeah.
It's all the sheep and cattle be able to slaughter for them, right? Will it suffice the entire Jewish people, meaning suffice their tithers? Okay, now that kind of question was like a very, how should we say it? Right word for it. It's like when Moshe Rabbeinu said that, asked that question, it sounds like he was doubting HaKodesh Baruch Hu's ability. Okay?
Yeah, just Yaakov on Sepharia. There's 14 different explanations on that one verse.
On the which verse? Sorry?
Verse 11. It's got Rashi, it's got Ramban, it's got the Ramban, it's got Ibn Ezra, it's got Sforno,
Right.
it's got Tzur Hamor, Shizkuni, Rabbeinu Bahaya, Rabbeinu Hananel, the Arbanal, the Adaret Eliyahu, the Al-Shich, the Avi Ezer, Bekor Shor, the Zanim,
15,
Hamat Anat Torah,
16,
Haktra v'Hakabala,
18,
Sava Kabbalah.
Ha'amak Davar,
19,
Hatzir Ba'ar Hatzurim, Kli Yakar, Mizrahi, Minat Shai, Or Chachayim, Panei David,
25,
Ralbag, Beor Hamilot, the Shadal, the
Okay.
Be'er Mayim
So
Chayim,
what? Have you found
the
any
Shech Chakma.
Are there any interesting ones?
there you
that-
go,
Okay.
Plenty of other
Homework.
places you can go, man. That'll keep you busy for a
Oh,
month.
dear.
Sorry, Rabbi.
Yeah.
excuse me.
See,
Okay, we'll have to,
last
let's finish
explanation.
this Rashi.
And we want to
Yeah.
when I come back.
Right? The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu spoke Kaviyachal against HaKodesh Baruch Hu, and he said, how can it be possible that HaKodesh Baruch Hu can do such a thing? That's a more
By doing what? Sorry.
not quite rebellious is the right word. The more statement which showed greater lack of faith in this statement by not hitting the rock. And Afisha Baseisa, since Moshe Rabbeinu did it in private, not everybody heard it, only Hashem heard it. Chosach alav akasu. The Khan Shebamamet Kol Yisrael, this sin by not hitting the rock, by not speaking to the rock and hitting the rock, was in front of everybody. Therefore, no Chosach alav akasu, Yidei Kiddush Hashem. Since Moshe Rabbeinu failed to do the correct level of Kiddush Hashem, which Hashem had wanted him to do, that as a result of that, he was lacking in the level of Kiddush Hashem, which could have resulted in having spoken to the rock instead of hitting it, and Moshe Rabbeinu had failed to do so. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu was punished. Okay, we'll have to stop here.